Today we play two teams who beat us earlier in the season by the odd goal each, and we're going to be seeing if we can get some revenge. So earlier in the season, we played against Catania and lost narrowly to them, and then against Fidelis Andria and again lost narrowly to them, although 2-1 slightly flattered us there from what I remember, and we got a late goal there anyway, so it wasn't like we threw anything away in that game. But today we are out to get some revenge. Home to Catania, away to Fidelis Andria are the two games for today, and we're going to hopefully manage to get revenge times two. As you can see, we're on a nice long unbeaten run, really extending that record. We were on a nice winning run for quite some time before a couple of 0-0 draws against Taranto and Monopoly. Irony is, I was originally intending to actually record those two and bring them to you as today's video, but I thought better of it, and very much glad that I did, because they weren't very good games, to be perfectly honest. Catania and Fidelis Andria promise to be better games. They are teams who are just behind us, so the pressure is on in these two games. We need to try and make sure that we can maintain what is currently a 6-point gap. It does look like there should be a bit of a gap between 6th and the rest of the table. The question then is whether we can climb and perhaps challenge Foggia for the title. With those two draws, it's a bit of a setback. But I still think there is a possibility here that we could challenge for that title and for that automatic promotion. We will go with a team today that is similar to the one we've been going to. I think there are a few players who we could bring in, including a couple of new signings. We've got this guy Diarna, who I think I will bring in because defence could do with a bit of freshening up. And we've made a couple of signings over the transfer window. The unregistered players are actually older players who've been around for a while, who are just not quite as good as some of the players that we've brought in. But we've also brought in a few players who are actually hopefully going to give us a bit more depth, which, if you remember, for half of the season was kind of the problem. Giudici is one of those players who very, very good either up front or on the wings. Nice little bit of backup for us there. We also have some proper backup in the centre of midfield in Simone Paolini, who, thinking about it, probably should be starting this game, to be honest. We'll have Paolini in for Trajkovic. And that is the team I think that we're going to go with for today. We've got Bianchini, Ventola, two established players. Diarna making his debut today, after I think he was one of the last signings. Maserati, who did sign during the window, but has been playing a few times. Di Matteo, who's been around for a while. Gioldi, one of the stalwarts of the team. Paolini, a relatively new transfer. And we've got Daniels and Doramo, who did both decent players. Daniels has really started to come into his own in recent weeks after a slightly iffy start. And then the Nepi Sassi axis up front, who have been a little disappointing recently, but throughout the season have been fairly good for us. 17 goals between them is no shoddy return. So hopefully they can bring that kind of form into today's game against Catania. Baldini is the manager of Catania. No, it's a different Francesco Baldini, not the Tottenham director of football, or I think ex-Tottenham director of football. Could be wrong. But as you can see, this is a big game to try and keep us in that hunt for that top spot, which could still be ours. Foggia and Bari are definitely the two teams who would expect to be up there at the moment. But there is no reason, I don't think, why we couldn't challenge them. If we can continue this unbeaten run and turn more draws into wins, then I think we could still be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. Bari are 1-0 up, so we could do with the goal quite soon, I would say. Fairly dull first half. Don't think we created enough, as you saw. Not very many highlights. With the second half underway, we will hopefully see a few more in this half, but nothing so far. Here we are, Salah. Long free kick out to Rusotto eventually. Di Matteo takes the ball back, and Paolini finds Nepi, Gioldi to Daniels. Going to get across, and he can, but there's no one there to get on the end of it. Sassi, though, nicked the ball and nearly stole a goal there out of nowhere. Good to see Sassi on the ball, though. Let's bring off Deramo for Giudici. And we're going to go a little bit more attacking now. Try and go for that goal. Daniels is not having his best game after a very good run of form recently, but given how good he's been recently, I don't really feel like I want to take him off. That's one way you want to leave him on and just hope that he comes good at some point. And Daniels finds Giudici. Giudici has a good effort, but not quite finding the back of the net on that occasion. We've got to go for this. Can't afford another draw. We've had too many draws recently. Giudici back to Maserati. Paolini crosses the ball into Nepi, who heads over the bar again. Daniels has been a little disappointing today, so we've got Nesta. Nesta's almost as good as Daniels, so Gioldi finds Nepi. Giudici to Daniels. Daniels is through. Oh, it's his last involvement in the game, I think. He's off now, and he can't quite go out with a bang. We've been a lot better in the second half, created a lot more. Hopefully, we've still got one or two more chances within us that may just be the difference. And Sueva can come on up front for the last few minutes, and we've got 3.25 minutes left. Will there be a late goal in this game? A bit of late drama. Sueva pushes forward. Can someone get on the end of a cross? No, they can't, not on this occasion. Just need to keep pushing them. We've still got time. If we can nick the ball back, we've got plenty of time still to score a goal. But we also have, unfortunately, time to concede. And Bianchini stops that from happening, at least for the time being. Corner to Catania. Piccolo swings the ball in, and someone got, I think it was Yoldi, got on the end of it. And we're now in the last minute. Will there be a late bit of drama? If so, it's going to be bad for us, and it is bad for us. Yet another last-minute goal. It's been disallowed. Okay, well, that's good. There's been a few of them as well, haven't there, when we thought that we've conceded a last-minute goal, but we haven't. One of those days, though. I'm not going to be too harsh on them because they have been playing really well recently, and to be honest, they've performed massively above my expectations. I think the chances of us catching Foggia are now very, very slim. It's not impossible, but it's very, very unlikely. So we just have to try and finish as high up the league table as possible. The higher we finish, the fewer rounds we have to play before we get to the promised land of Serie B. So that's certainly something to play for still. One of the things about this format is it does mean that there are very few dead games, because it's hard to imagine anyone who's going to be completely out of it. And even if you're sort of, as we are, completely in the middle of the playoff zone, there are different levels of that playoff. So if you look at the rules, the second team qualifies for the quarterfinal of the playoff, third team third round, fourth team second round, and then 5th to 10th is the first round of the playoffs. So unless you're kind of 7th or 8th, you're likely to have games that are meaningful until the very, very last game, which is obviously going to be fantastically important for us. So that's something to bear in mind, that even as I hope we will have our playoff place confirmed fairly soon, we need to keep winning games and get as high up as we possibly can. I will be back in a week against Fidelis Andria, and hopefully we can get ourselves back on track, because whilst we are unbeaten in a while, we've also only got 1 win in 4 at the moment, and we do need to put things right on that score. Back in a second. So, no revenge in the first game. Can we put that right in the second game? Progress, but no revenge against Catania. Fidelis Andria, hopefully we can put things a bit more right. I think we'll probably go with a similar team, although I'm tempted to give the strikers a bit of a rotation. I think Cargioli deserves a go. He's had some decent form, particularly for the reserves recently, so I think he deserves that. We'll have him in. Question is whether we also have Sueva up front and then go for someone like Giudici. I think Giudici was also in pretty decent form, so I think I will do that. So we'll have Sueva up front with Cargioli, just to keep things ticking, I guess. And then Sassi and Nepi are both on the bench, which would be hard to have guessed, but I just think it just keeps people guessing. It shows people that no one's undroppable. I'm also going to play Nesta instead of Giudici. Yeah, Nesta instead of Giudici, which means that we can have Daniels on the left-hand side, 2 of our better players. But Giudici is playing well, but I think probably it's worth having him having Nesta in the side. He's missed a few games because Daniels has been playing on the right-hand side, but I think he's deserved another chance. So we'll go with that team for today. Hopefully we can get some kind of result. Good to see that Diana has... Oh no, I was going to say he's had a good start, but I was looking at the last 5 games. Actually had a fairly average start. But hopefully that slight improvement in the defence can start to show itself with improved performances there. Let's see, what can we do today? Absolutely, you've taken a win and a draw at this for these 2 games. Are we playing against a Bolognese sauce? We are. Bolognese sauce is playing. We have to. We just have to. Sorry, you know what I'm going to do, don't you? Anyone who's played Football Manager before knows exactly what I'm about to do. Can't be helped. You see someone with the name Bolognese, you have to. Whilst they are only a couple of places behind us for Alessandria, there is a significant gap in terms of points. So this is definitely a game I would feel like I should be winning. Nesta gets in the cross and Cargioli heads just over the bar. They're looking a little threatening here. Tipiazza, nice block. Can we take it away? It looks like we have dealt with the situation quite well here. But then we give the ball away. It's a bit of a trend for us. We play really well in our third of the pitch and then lump it forward and lose it. Which, I mean, it's partly by design, but that shouldn't be that direct anyway. Ventola with a nice cross that time, and Daniels heads just over the bar. But we are looking quite dangerous when we do go forward. We've had better XG than them with the 2 shots that we've had. Just going to go a little bit wider because I'm not too worried about Fidelis Andria's wings because of the fact that they're playing wing backs instead of wingers. If they're going to get too far forward, we will catch them out on the break. Bianchini with the long ball forward, but again we lose the ball in the air. I don't think we're the best team in the air, to be honest. Might be something that we can look at improving next year, particularly if we're going to keep playing it long like that, which we shouldn't be. But Ventola, can we get ahead before half time? Nesta crosses the ball in, but misses everyone. Sueva retrieves it though. Paolini to Di Matteo. Being a bit too cautious here, I think. Tully to Di Piazza, and it does feel that that's a little bit against the run of play. A bit disappointing, but there's plenty of time left, and I think we've been playing well enough to suggest that we can get back into this and perhaps turn it around and win the game. We knew it wasn't going to be an easy game, this one though. Sampano. Definitely don't want to be 2-0 down at half time. That would be a disaster. Di Piazza heads it just wide, and thank goodness we are not 2-0 down. But towards the end of this half, we've fallen behind, certainly on the XG. Not sure we have been quite terrible, but we haven't been good enough, certainly. Can we create more in this second half? Let's try and focus play down the wings, because if we're playing wider, we might as well try and exploit that. It's a very nice ball to Daniels, but he didn't really do as much with it as I like. I think I might make an early sub. I need to remember that because I've got 5 subs, I can do that a little more than I might otherwise do. So, Sassy for Nesta. Right, come on then, Sassy. It's been good this season. I just wanted to switch it up, really. See what we could do, but it didn't really work as I'd hoped it might. I think Cargioli will have to come off as well. I'm going to go to positive. Daniels puts in a cross, and Dini is there to cut out any danger. Long ball forward, goes straight to our defender. And Daniels can take it down the wing to Gioldi. Back to Daniels. Can he get a cross in this time? He can, and Sueva is there. Very, very nice finish there. Daniels to Sueva. And we are very much back in the game now. Cargioli is still going to come off. We're going to bring on Nepi. We've got the dream team up front of Nepi and Sassy. I almost called them Nappy and Sessi. Ventola with a lovely cross to Sueva, but Dini picks that up quite easily. Can we get that final breakthrough and win this game? We ought to win this game, I think. Now, it feels to me like a game we should be winning. Ventola to Gioldi. Daniels. Very nice runs down the wing recently. Gets crossing. His crosses aren't quite as good, but he is knackered now. I think we're going to need to take him off. Giudici can come on. I think we'd be very unlucky to lose this game. But then again, we've had a lot of draws recently. I don't really want to be getting another draw. I'd almost rather attack and lose it on the basis that if we do that, then we'll probably win more than we lose. Right. Corner. 3 minutes to go. And Giudici can take it away. Can we break and score the goal to win this game now? Sassy, bit wide, but he's got the ball. And Sueva finds Di Marino, and Giudici picks it up though, so it's not, the danger's not over for them yet. Ventola finds Sassy, and it's there! Got a late winner. Makes up for some of those late. Oh, it's been disallowed. Seems to be a bit of a pattern. Late game-changing goals that are then disallowed. Let's hope if it'd be a right kick in the teeth if we lose this game, having thought we'd won it for a second there. We're not going to. It's going to be a 1-1 draw. We are drawing too many games, and that's why we're not going to win the league this year. And we need to try and sort that out. It's a bit of a shame, really. Too many draws are going to cost us, I think. Daniels has got getting close to a bonus. He is playing well. He had a really poor start, Daniels, but he's been very, very good more recently. Most of those 4 goals and 5 assists have come in the last 4 or 5, well, certainly 10 games anyway. So hopefully that's some form that he can continue. And you can see that Nesta and Daniels are probably, attacking-wise, have been in fact, just full stop, they have been our outstanding players for this side. You know, whilst Bianchini, I would say, is possibly our player of the year. Average rating, obviously, is not necessarily the best indicator for a goalkeeper. The Nesta and Daniels are close seconds, and that is something that I'm really, really pleased with. And look, if you'd offered me 26 points, 26 games, 44 points, I'd have taken that. I'm not too upset about it, but I would like to see some wins and turning some of those draws into wins at the moment, because 8 draws is perhaps more than it should be, I would say, particularly given the number of 0-0s. So, thank you for watching today. We will be back tomorrow with another video. I think my guess is we might be back with the youth intake tomorrow, but we'll see how things go. And we will see which games turn out to be the important ones. Hopefully we can keep that unbeaten run going, which has now gone for not far off 4 months. It's really good to see. And looking at the games we've got coming up, the Bari game does stand out to me a little bit. Unfortunately, we don't have Foggia. Again, we've already played them. We did beat them, of course. Double from Alvin Daniels, but we have had a bit of a problem scoring goals recently, so it's something that we do need to sort out. So yeah, we will be back tomorrow with the next video, which will probably be against Bari, I think, but we'll see. It depends a little bit on the youth intake and a few other things. But yeah, drop me a like and a subscription, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.